All right, it's time to talk to sports now. Let's tell you that the Super Eagles held a recovery session earlier today as they look forward to the game against the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia. The Super Eagles of Nigeria fought well in the 2023-24 campaign, but finished as runners-up after losing 2-1 to Côte d'Ivoire and Abidjan. They are expected to showcase their quality. That's when they face Trabelsi's men in round 2. Tunisia, on the other hand, cannot be overlooked in this encounter after they narrowly won 1-0 against Nigeria in 2022 AFCON knockout stage. Despite their inconsistency in the competition, the Carthage Eagles will rely on their defensive structure in the upcoming clash. Right, TVC News sports editor who has been in camp with the team joins us live now from Morocco, of course, to give us updates vis-a-vis the preparations and, of course, as we look forward to the game between the Super Eagles and the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia. Promise Afoge, very pleased to have you with us. Well, if you hear me,
Thank you so much, Amikechi Kobian.
All right. The Super Eagles held a recovery session earlier, as you told us. You want to tell us more about it?
All right. The team just returned to their camp base, which is just about 10 minutes drive from the Sadia Sports Complex, where they have been training since the competition began. It was a time for the first 11 players that began the game against Tanzania to really do some light walks and runs around the pitch. Nothing very serious for those who started the game. But for those who were on the bench all through 90 minutes and the few players that came on as substitutes, they were the ones who were fully involved with today's training session. As Coach Eric Shell told them that he's not seen any AFCON that ended for any team with the same set of players that started the competition. What that means is that you may have a starting 11, but when you are competing in a tournament like the AFCON that would last as much as 1 month, if you are lucky enough to get to the final, not every player that started the opening game may be available for the final game. There could be injuries, there could be worries, there could be illnesses, there could be, card issues. So as far as he's concerned, every player in the squad is important for him, and he made this very clear to them. Those who did not play yesterday's game were fully involved in today's training sessions, today's training drills, as he told them that they, at some point, surely would have a role to play in the team's quest for glory at the AFCON.
All right. The next game, as we know full well, will be against Tunisia, who are ahead of Nigeria in terms of head-to-head wins. How are the players preparing for this one?
They are ahead of Nigeria on the table as a result of the number of goals they scored. They defeated Uganda 3-1. The Super Eagles won against Tanzania 2-1. So the Tunisians are top of Group C at the moment with an extra goal that they scored in their game against Uganda. But of course, we know the next game, according to the coach, he says the first game would always be about what you can offer. Second game will always be a lot more tactical, and the third game will be mathematical. Those were his words. And so against Tunisia, we expect a very, very keenly contested game. I mean, you recall that 2021 at the Nations Cup in Cameroon, these Tunisian side were the ones that ousted the Eagles in the round of 16. The Super Eagles have progressed way beyond that. The next tournament 2 years later, 2023, in Côte d'Ivoire, they got to the finals. How good are the Tunisians? We know they are very tricky. We know they are very good. But of course, the Super Eagles are getting ready for that particular encounter because, the game against Tunisia will be very decisive. That game will decide, in my opinion, will decide who tops Group C at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Well, just before I let you go, any injury concerns ahead of the game as we look forward to Saturday?
No one is injured except my humble self, who is, I've been battling with a serious cold here in Fez. Temperatures dropping sometimes to 6 degrees. It's been a very big struggle for me, who is not too used to, being in a cold environment for too long. But as far as the players are concerned, everyone is fine. Everyone is fit and ready to go.
All right. Thankfully, you will not be needed on the pitch anyway, I promise. All right. Of course, TVC News sports editor, thanks indeed for giving us those updates.